Right, now my next guest has been performing stand-up comedy for the past 10 years. Away from the stage though, Dave Chawner was battling anorexia, and following his recovery, he joins me now. He hopes to help others with his new book. It's called Weight Expectations, One Man's Recovery from Anorexia. It's so good to see you.
Thank you for having me on.
Do you know what? I really like this book. It's full of common sense. It's also funny.
Thank you. Well, I mean, that's not what the reviews say, but that is lovely. I originally, because it's about anorexia, I originally wanted to call it The Real Hunger Games. But apparently that infringes copyright, so I'm going to be sued now. But I think the thing is that I needed, like, when I was kind of going through sort of anorexia, etc., I didn't need, like, a self-help manual guy. I just needed someone to treat me normally, and actually sort of humour is so normalised.
No, it's the way I always think it's a fantastic way to combat anything, and particularly when it comes to your mental health, you know.
Yeah.
It's, of course, you've got to be serious in some aspects, but a laugh can help.
Yeah.
It really, really can. Now, were you like a teenager when all this happened to you?
So yeah, my kind of, I suppose, story is like, it started when I was 17.
Right.
And I didn't realise that I was anorexic until I was 20, which sounds weird, but I never got a break from my own mind. So I didn't realise what I was doing was like abnormal.
Sure.
And I didn't get help until I was 24 because I never felt ill enough. Because all of the stories that I saw were people that weighed less than like a bag of crisps.
Of course, people really, really emaciated.
Exactly.
But the vast majority of people who have any sort of eating illness, or eating disorder, it's not like that.
No, completely not.
And it affects so many blokes as well.
Yeah, well, there's like so apparently anywhere between 10 and 24% of anorexics are blokes.
Wow.
And people like Elton John had bulimia.
That's right.
So Rocket Man's all about salad. And there's like loads of different blokes that have like suffered with it. And I think it's something like, it's not to do with... There's a line in the book that eating disorders are not like Donald Trump. They don't, you know, sort of segregate based on race, gender and age. It can occur to anyone at any time.
Absolutely, absolutely. You said the book was hard to write, though.
Oh, it's so hard to write. Yeah. I'm a terrible writer, and I get like easily distracted, and I kind of, I mean, it was fun, it was enjoyable, but yeah, it was so hard to write because like getting into that mindset again, and I'm not very eloquent. Like sometimes I like make up words to seem more articulate full. Like I just kind of got very distracted, and I've got so much like respect for writers nowadays.
But it's good because it reads like you're talking to me. You know, I'm talking to you now, and that's what it sounds like. And I think that is so important to get something right and authentic.
Yeah.
It needs to sound like that. Do you consider yourself now, if you like, over it, or is it something that's always going to be with you? Do you have setbacks now and again, like we all do?
Yeah. Well, I think it's going to be something that's probably going to be with me for like the rest of my life in terms of it was a diseased coping mechanism. Right. And I think everyone's life is a work in progress. And now I'm trying to find different ways to cope, which is why in the book, I think it's really important to actually, instead of whining about it, give people help, give people coping mechanisms and say, this is what would have been helpful at this part of the process. So I kind of broke the book down into the sort of different processes and gave coping mechanisms at each stage.
There's some really, really good advice in here, really excellent advice. One of them saying, write things down.
Yes.
Keep a diary, but keep a diary as if somebody else is going to read it. That's really interesting.
Well, because like my first ever diary when I was 11, I was like, I fancy this girl at school, and then my mom read it, and I was like, oh. So I'm gonna read. I read it, and like I now write it. Like if someone's gonna read it, there's no embarrassment in that, and it's fun as well. It's so much fun,
and it gets it out. It sometimes actually helps you to just write it down if you haven't at that time got somebody to talk to.
Completely,
it's actually quite good. But I mean, you look fine.
Thank you very much.
More than fine, I would have to say.
Wow.
But the struggle that you had, the trouble is sometimes we do this thing where we see somebody, oh, you've lost weight. Yeah. And it's like, oh, thanks. Yeah. Whereas if you said to somebody, like you say in the book, if you say to somebody, oh, you've put on a little bit of weight, that's like, oh, the worst insult you can ever say, you know? Weight is
just a description. Yeah. And I don't think we kind of add value to it. And you see like everyday fat shaming of like, she's not fat, she's beautiful. It's like, why are those two like mutually exclusive? And, and also my kind of like, strangely for me, the anorexia wasn't necessarily about being like skinny. For me, like the anorexia was about numbing myself, was about focusing on something else, was about feeling good enough, because I had exams, I had coursework, I had grades. I didn't feel good enough. And it's hard to measure when are you successful in life. You know, all these universities were rejecting me because you've seen how I write. No. And they were all kind of saying, oh, you're not good enough. Whereas actually, like, numbers on a scale, numbers in calories, exercise, those were things that I could measure.
Sure,
and I could
either do or not.
Exactly.
Well, isn't it? It's like you've got control over something. And so many people have not. It's chaotic. I mean, we're all a bit like that.
Life is chaotic. Yeah. And maybe, like, because people, this is also the other side of it. Like, I know people are like, oh, what a snowflake. But I think different people like cope in different ways. And that's what I kind of want to help. Instead of like moaning or saying, you know, like, oh, the system was against me, actually sort of say, this is what helped me, and try and help other people.
I think it's brilliant. I really do. It's Weight Expectations, One Man's Recovery from Anorexia.
Yeah.
By Dave Chawner, who's going to be in Edinburgh. You're going to be at the Fringe.
Going to be in the Fringe, doing a show called Mental.
Excellent.
So, yeah.
So I look forward to that. I think that would be great fun. This is really good. If you've got any concern, especially if you're a parent and you want to just get a wee bit of an insight.
Well, also what I wanted to say is, if anyone's like struggling, there's beateatingdisorders.org.uk. That's the UK's Eating Disorder charity, as well as Men Get Eating Disorders too.
We will stick that in our website as well, and everybody can do those wonderful things. And yes,
social media's great, isn't it?
It is. It can be. Thank you, though.
Thank you so much,
Dave. Great to see you.